Vanshika. How are you? How's
Good.
the
How are you?
light is fine?
Yes. Yes. You look beautiful. You can hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I
Oh,
hear you well. Now we have 3 people with us already. Hi. Welcome everybody who's here right now. We are just gonna begin soon. Just 4 more minutes, just so that we begin on time.
okay.
So
Now
you ready? You're
I'm
feeling
ready.
comfortable?
I'm extremely comfortable. I'm just going to get my chai, which is no problem. It'll come in 1 minute.
Okay, great.
I'm
Even
so
I have
happy
my
to be here
tea.
on Women's Day. I'm so excited. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for joining us. Thank
I'm
you for
very
joining us.
excited.
Yeah, this is actually the first Heartspace Insta Live talk that we're doing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and you are a part of it, so thank you for being a
I'm
part of
honored. I'm honored.
PinkPaisa's first Instagram live stream.
I'm very excited. Thank you.
Yes, so just
And
a
it's so
couple more
lovely to
minutes and
be
we'll...
interviewed by you, who I've known since practically you were born. I feel really old.
Yeah, yeah, no, we have known each other. I think it's actually one of my favorite things about being part of PinkPaisa is being able to work with women who I've been connected with for so long, like even Vici and Nani, the founder and wellness director of PinkPaisa. I've gotten to know them, and Vici especially for such a long time, and you, and it's
It's
so
wonderful.
nice to be able to connect with all of you women in
Thank
this
you.
way.
Thank you. And you're quite evolved at this young age to be part of something like this and to, um, understand what people like Pink Paisa are doing, because it's very important, I think, for people your age and younger people to be involved at this level rather than when they would come to our age and, where realization already comes in with experience. So that's really good.
Yeah, I think it is really special, especially for women of all ages to be coming together. I think is really, really magical.
It's wonderful. And I'm sure this is just going to grow from, strength to strength. So I really hope so.
Yes, me too. So let's get started. I'm going to introduce myself. I'm the marketing strategist of PinkPaisa, and Coleen Khan over here with me is one of our advisors on our platform. She is a very successful entrepreneur who helps many, many women in the area also with employment. And she's also a model who's had a really
Was
successful...
many years ago.
Was a model. Okay. Yes. So we admire you, Coleen, because of your beautiful balance between this amazing glamour world of modeling and your very grounded understanding of being independent and what that means, especially for a woman, and being an entrepreneur and really taking your life into your own hands. And we really are grateful to have a woman like you on our platform with us today.
Such high praise, Vanshika. Thank you so much. I mean, that's really sweet, and it's so nice to hear all these wonderful things about that you're saying about me. But I think it was the help of a lot of people that bring you up to where you are today, and a lot of them were women who, I think, starting with my mom, who is a driving force behind all this to get me where I am today. And so I have to say a big shout out to her and thank you to her for
That's so sweet.
all that, but it's true. And a lot of, even my job and the work I do, even when I was modeling, we were so many women. And even now, when I'm doing hair and beauty, it's basically a woman centric industry. So I
Yeah.
think support and love and encouragement from all these people have really made a difference to the person I am today. And I thank each and every one of them, each and every one of my clients, each and every one of the people who I interact with on a daily. My whole staff are women, and they're like
Yeah.
my... So I think it's a lot of female energy, which is like Nari Shakti, and it is
Yeah.
too good. It's really fantastic.
It is, yes, yes. So on those lines, let me introduce you to the topic that we would like to discuss this Women's Day, which is inner and outer beauty. So Coleen, would you like to share with us what do you feel is the connection for a woman especially between looking beautiful and feeling beautiful?
Yes, thank you. It's an excellent topic because I think it's a kind of a catch-22 situation. If you feel good inside, you look good. And if you look good, you feel good. It's both ways, you know. So I think basically for women especially, it's really important. You know, Vanchika, today's day and age is pretty superficial. We live in a world where looks really matter as much as we try to say, oh, you know, it doesn't really matter. It's who you are. People, the first impression you make, I think, is really important. Whether it's a job interview or whether you're going for a party or whatever, people look at you and judge you. So whether we like it or not, that's the reality. So when I'm talking about outer beauty, I don't mean you have to look beautiful. I mean, you should be groomed. You should come across with a pleasant personality. You should have taken care of personal hygiene, your hair, your skin, your nails, things like that. And that also comes from if you feel good inside. So if you're,
Right.
yeah, so it really is important to work on your mental and physical health as well. And mental health is a big issue today, actually, because we all suffer from some form of mental anxiety or stress and things like that, which again tell on the way we look and the way we behave. So the way we feel and the way we think reflects on the way the outward appearance. You know, you can at
Right.
once, you agree, right? Don't you think that?
Yes, I completely agree with you. I think also a lot of people, you know, talk about how when you really become at, you know, come to peace with yourself and learn to accept yourself, this acceptance of who you are reflects on the outside also. So I think it's a really beautiful, it's so true, and I've experienced it even in my own life. And I've seen so many women around me who just grow in their beauty every day as they, you know, grow deeper in their connection with themselves. And
Is
I
so true. And you know, you may think, okay, model and you look a certain way, so how do you? But everyone has insecurities, whether it's the most beautiful woman in the world or, you know, down to anybody, they all are insecure because we keep looking at ourselves in the mirror and you say, oh, my cheeks are too fat or my teeth are crooked, or and nobody else notices that except you because you're constant, you're seeing this all the time. So that reflects on how, like you said correctly, if you are in at peace with yourself and come to terms with whatever you look like, you're beautiful. And to someone, the beauty, they say, is in the eyes of the beholder. So to someone, you know, who's looking at you from the outside, you're beautiful. In my line of work, what we can do is help you enhance that beauty. That's it.
right,
We just
right.
help you work with what you have. Try not to, you know, like people who come, I try to tell them, don't straighten your hair. If you've got curly hair, we'll work with what you have and just
Yeah,
enhance that rather than try to
right.
change what nature has given you, which is actually perfect for you. So when we talk about out of beauty, I don't mean uh, Botox, fillers, plastics. I mean just
Right.
maybe a little makeup like we have on today, just a
Yeah.
little, look a bit
Like
fresher.
owning what you already are, right? You're
Absolutely.
talking about more
Absolutely.
owning what you
Yeah.
already are, to own it and
Absolutely.
embody it with beauty and
Enhance it
grace.
a little bit, and that's
Yeah,
just be happy. And you'll
yeah.
see that automatically people will start saying, oh, you're looking gorgeous today, look at how you look.
Yes,
You've done nothing, but you've just accepted, you know. So that's a very
right.
big lesson.
Yeah. And I think it's such a good point that you made, that you mentioned that it's everyone. Like, you know, we
Yeah.
women, we tend to look at other women and compare, and we say, oh, she obviously doesn't have
Yes,
any problems. She's
exactly.
perfect. She has
Yeah,
no insecurities.
yeah.
And we forget that all of us women, we are all the same. And we all look at ourselves, you know, with eyes that could be a lot kinder, you know?
Such a lovely way to put it. Just be kind. I think that is beautiful, Vanchika. Be kinder to ourselves, be kinder to the women around us. And as women, instead of competing with each other, I think if we collaborate with each other and try and support each other as women, we're only going to there'll be less judgment, because we don't see those things. We don't look at someone up and down and judge, only then we'll
Yes.
start growing as and feeling more independent as a community of women.
Yeah, yeah, that's so beautiful what you said about support and to help each other feel beautiful instead of this. I think a lot of us we compare and then we want to make ourselves feel like we're better, or we
Yes.
have this inferiority complex that turns into a superiority complex that just waves up and down. And I think it's so nice for you to say that it's all of us we can shine brighter. When we shine together, we're brighter. When
I
we
think
lift
so.
each other up, we can,
Yeah, and I think this is what our aim is, actually, to support women and to encourage women and to bring out the best in each other and just
Yeah.
be there for each other. I think if we do that, it'll just be another whole other world that we're looking at.
Right. I agree with you. And speaking of which, I would like to ask you, Coleen, what are a few reasons you think why it's so hard for women to accept themselves and to feel beautiful? What do you think are the main barriers that women could look at?
I think first is, a lot of times, even stemming from childhood, there are certain things that happen, some kind of rejection, or say some boyfriend said something to you, or, while you're at school, you're being bullied. There's so many things that start from childhood and they keep going. Say you get rejected from a job. So, these just keep playing on your mind. So they
Yeah.
keep feeling that you're not worthy, that you have, there's something wrong with you. Say you're a little bit on the larger side, people are constantly saying, oh, you're looking so healthy. These small
Yes.
things which actually affect your psychological health. It actually
Yes.
affects you, and we don't even think about it. Like, I was
Yes.
just had a brief think today about Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, and the royal family was worried that the child would be dark because I just read it just now before this interview, and I thought, it stems right from there. And that's
Right.
how rejection and that's how feeling bad about ourselves start. It's because of all these kind of things that happen to us right from childhood all the way up, and it's happening constantly. I feel that's one of the main reasons that.
Yeah. I totally agree with you. And like it gets, like you were saying, it's so deep that we don't even realize.
Yeah.
And these things, they get internalized and we start running these stories and we don't even know whose stories we are running in our head.
We don't, because it's there at the subconscious level.
Exactly.
And you keep believing it. At some point you believe, yes, I'm not worthy of this. I don't deserve the guy. This is what I should be and accept in life,
Right. Or
So,
about the career and,
anything, about career. Or just because somebody said no to you, you can't give up. It's not, if you look at life, if you read autobiographies of very famous men and women, the amount of times they've been said no to, but still keep persevering, and finally they get where they are. So you can't give up. You can't let somebody else's no define who you are.
Right.
It's really, really important. And I think judgment, like we was talking, that judging other people should be, it should be judging ourselves and other people. I think judging ourselves harshly,
judgment is also a big one.
Yes. Yeah. And judging others, constantly talking about, as women get together and they talk about somebody else, let's try not to be so judgmental. Let's try to be more positive than, bringing someone down.
Yeah, for sure. And I think also often the way we tend to judge other people, it's like actually a reflection of how we are with ourselves.
Very true. Very true.
Every time you notice a flaw, it's it's very often something that actually you're seeing in yourself too. And it's the same kind of critique is going on in a loop about yourself and other women. Yeah.
And another big problem, I think, today, Vanchika, and you can relate to this because you're young, is social media. I know everyone talks about it, but you're on Instagram, you're scrolling all the time, you're seeing beautiful people who are completely, whatever you call, photoshopped. They don't look like that. You're seeing all these amazing holidays that people, so you keep again feeling not worthy. You think, oh, look how tiny her waist is. Look how, I mean, it's, most of it is enhanced. Most of these influencers are using filters. People should understand, and they're only putting happy things. They're not telling you about their daily life,
Yeah.
their
Nobody
fight at home, nothing. They're not talking. You're only seeing these really beautiful, happy, shiny people, which don't exist in reality. So spend less time on social media. That is my big advice to people.
Yeah.
Stop scrolling so much. Try and do something. Even if you want to, try and do something like listen to a podcast that, or you know, something that makes you feel good instead of you feel bad.
Yeah, I totally
That's in our
agree with
control, you know, Riddhi. It's in our control that we choose to see our perspective on things.
Right.
Change.
Yeah, and I think it's so important to realize that you have a choice also. You know, like you said, it's in our control. Like you rightfully said,
Absolutely.
we have a choice. We don't have to, you know, just constantly run the same story, because that's what we've been doing so far. Like, I think the most empowering thing for us is to realize that we have the choice and the freedom to actually bring a change into our lives. I think that's really
Very,
beautiful.
very true. That is so true. It's up to us. It's in our hands. How we look at things, how we perceive things, and how we want to react to things. That's another thing, our reaction to something. If we
Right.
control that, I think it'll be a big change. If we try and be more happy for people rather than, you know, jealous about something, if we, you know, feel that joy actually rather than say,
Yeah.
oh, she's got this, she's got the bigger house, she's got the better car, she's got, and then you feel happy within yourself and you look better, you look happier, that radiant, like some people
That
see, they
it
walk into the room
shows.
and they're radiating.
Right.
Not the most beautiful people, but you can't stop looking at them because they just look so radiant.
Yeah,
That's
they're
the joy
owning the,
from
like,
inside. Yeah.
yeah, they're
Yeah.
owning their power. I love that. Actually, I have something to share along those lines, Coleen. So, you know what you said about changing the story? I actually noticed something in myself today when I was working, and I noticed that whenever I get feedback from someone, I take it so personally that I forget it's about the work. It's not about me. It's
Yeah.
not about, you know, it's not about that you are not enough. It's just, this is a way that you can improve this. And in just, for me, in just like 5 minutes of talking to myself and thinking about it, I managed to really, you know, tell myself that this is not something telling you that you are not enough. This is something giving you an opportunity to grow and become even better, you know. So I think
That's
that,
amazing that you came to that realization because,
yeah,
and that's exactly what we're talking about, your perspective. Change that and you will see that people aren't criticizing you all the time. Like you said, it's about the work, not about you as a person. And that person is only trying to make you get better and better, you
yeah,
know. So that's fantastic, Riddhi. It's fantastic. I'm sorry, I keep calling you between Riddhi and Vanshika. I keep changing your name.
that's all right. That's okay. I think you get used to it after a while.
Yes, yes.
So do you have any other tips for us, Coleen, that we can use to? Sure, sure.
Sorry, nobody ever comes to the door except when you're going live.
Yes. So
And another piece of advice I just want to give women to tell their daughters and to, I mean, it's never too late, is to be financially independent, to have your own sense of being, to have your own separate hobbies and interests from your partner, from your spouse, from your whoever the person is with you. I would advise you to have your own, be your own person. So if you like to go for a walk, you don't have to take someone with you all the time. If you want to do yoga, if you want to read a book, have your own separate hobbies, be your own individual self, and try to
Right.
make your own money, however small. At least be financially independent. And I think it's very important for our daughters to hear this, because a lot of people say, oh, I'll just marry this guy and rich guy or whatever. And but that's not the answer. We know that's not the answer. It's just a
Yeah.
feeling of, if you want to buy those shoes, or if you want to just do whatever, go with your girlfriends for a drink or whatever, you don't have to ask somebody. And that's empowering.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Very, very empowering. So,
It's so great that you said that. There's a couple of things I want to highlight there actually. So, like you said about financial independence, that's one thing. And the other thing you said is about having your own interests and
yeah.
being your own person. So would you like to talk a little bit more about, the importance of financial independence? Because you as an entrepreneur, you've set up your own business, and for women, sometimes it's a little harder, especially in India, because of all the conditioning that we have as Indian women.
Yes.
Sometimes it's hard for us to really get past that barrier. So would you like to share, what helped you?
Now, I think I was blessed being brought up with very broad-minded parents who encouraged, and never said no to whatever I wanted to do, whether it was, I mean, I know my dad wanted me to do my MBA and, do kind of something more professional. And when I chose this, it was not a problem. So I was very blessed. I can't put myself in anyone else's shoes, because I know the struggle that women have and girls have to explain to their parents that they want to go out into the workforce, that they want to start something, that they want, because their parents think, what's the point? What's the need for further education? You just go and get married and that'll be it. So it's a struggle, and it's a hard thing to overcome because of centuries of conditioning for us as Indian women. It's not easy. But take baby steps. My advice is baby steps. Just small things. Try and do small things. Even if you want to start something small from the house, or if you're cooking and you want to make cupcakes, or if you're like know how to sew and you just make really cool stuff which you sell online. Or there are tons of businesses one can do without without disrupting too much of the household, and without trying to go against your parents or whatever. Baby steps. But if you have the advantage of being able to study and being able to explore those things, please don't make them. I know a lot of women who have studied, had an education, done things like become doctors, and given it all up when they've had a baby. You understand? So I'm not judging anybody. It's not judging. It is just the fact that once that baby grows up, like mine has, and gone off, now I'm like, an empty nester, you realize, thank God I have something to do. Thank God I've got work. I've got, a life, something that occupies my time, and I love it. So, I think, like I said, baby steps to get there, and find out something you're passionate about, and then try and do it. It's not easy.
That's so nice that you said that about the balance, because your daughter, Sarah, I've also known her ever since she was a baby.
Yes.
And she's not with you as much anymore. And it's so important for you as a woman to have that balance, that your entire energy and your entire life is not built around just one thing, that makes you a fuller woman, a stronger woman.
And that's what I mean by also the interest, the other things that, like you said, like we were talking about, have your own interests, have your own passions. You don't have to be dependent on. So that makes you an individual person by yourself, like a more interesting person. When you go out and you talk to people, you're not just, your husband's wife or your
Exactly. I love that you said that.
By yourself.
Yeah. Like, I think many times we get so lost in our, in our relationships, and like looking at ourselves as somebody's girlfriend or somebody's wife or somebody's daughter, that we forget who we are without those associations, which is why I think what you said about finding your own interests is so important, because it's about like learning to look at yourself and realize who you really are without you know, what the people around you are telling you to be. You know, who
Exactly.
you are on your own, what is truly coming from your heart, what you want to express.
And then you have a voice because you have formed this person that you are now, being. So you have your
Yeah,
own voice. You don't are not reflecting someone else's thoughts, someone else's opinions, or
right.
yeah. So it's really important, I think, and
Yeah.
especially for women who have little girls. It's important for them to feel empowered by their mothers and fathers, to have that voice and to.
Yes.
Yes, it's really important. So if they have role models that are strong, it naturally helps because they see how their
Right.
mother is and they emulate that. So that's very important.
Yeah, I think it's so beautiful, what you said about having strong role models, and having women around you who can really be that sort of beacon of light, and be that person who you can look up to and
And one
understand
thing
how.
I have to tell you, your mother is an example I give other people. I'm not joking,
Yeah,
Farida, if you're listening. I give other
I
people this
she's
example.
here. Yes.
Hey, Farida.
Hi,
At this
mom.
age, at that age, she decided to start a career, worked so hard. I mean, I tell this story to people when they tell me, oh, now I'm 50. I'm like, what? What's 50? It doesn't, it's a number. So,
Yes.
look at this person who took her life in her hands, decided to make a career of a passion she loved, and has made a successful career. It's like amazing. So, your mother is one of those women who, exactly like I said, strong, independent, decided to take her life in her own hands and do something about it.
I completely agree with you, and I am so lucky to
Yeah.
have a mother like that, because I think, as a daughter, I think for to have a mother who you can really look up to as a role model is really special. Of course, you know how mothers and daughters are. We get into it once
It's a
in a while,
part of
of
the fun
course.
of
Of
having a daughter.
That's part of the fun. But I mean, I it honestly, not a day goes by that I speak to one of her friends, or somebody who, like you or Vici, who reminds me, you know
Yeah.
how incredible she is. And I think it's so beautiful that we're talking about this on Women's Day, and about a woman in my life who really inspired me. So thank you,
Not
mom,
at all. It inspires
and
all of
thank
us.
you,
Just
Coleen.
thank you. It's
Yes,
such a lovely chat, Vanshika. I enjoyed it a lot. Are we at the end of our chat?
almost.
Okay.
I just wanted to say a few more things. I
Okay.
would like to thank everybody who's been with us so
Big thank
far.
you for everyone who's
Thank
joined.
you. We have quite a few people with us who've stayed this whole time for our little chat.
That's so
So
sweet. Thank you.
thank you. This is the first of many Heartspace live streams that PinkPaisa is going to do. And we are really looking forward to it, connecting with other beautiful, inspiring women like Coleen, and helping their voice to get out there so that they can share their story and share their wisdom and their joy with women around us who can learn, and we can learn from these women. So I'm saying thank you in advance to all the amazing women who are going to be part of Heartspace by
I'm looking forward to
PinkPaisa.
seeing them and listening to them, and I'm really looking forward to being part of Pink Paisa. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Coleen. And as a thank you to everybody who's joined us, Coleen is offering a 20% discount to the first 25 new registrations on PinkPaisa. So I would like to invite all you beautiful women who are with us today to register with PinkPaisa, to join our community, our sisterhood of wealthness, which is wellness and wealth, as we
Love.
grow as rounded women. Please come join our community. And when you register with us, you will get 20% off your next visit to Coleen's salon.
Please come to the salon. I look forward to seeing all you wonderful women. And thank you for, it was such a lovely chat with you, Anshika.
I really
Thank you
enjoyed
for
it
being-
too, Coleen.
Me
Thank
too.
you.
Me too.
Thank you. So, bye.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody. Happy Women's Day.
Women's Day.